Snow Problem Roo is the second segment of the 20th episode of the first season of My Friends Tigger and Pooh. And it's quite sweet. The narrative is definitely something that I think will be beneficial for young children who are maybe experiencing snow or snowmen for the first time. And the animation is absolutely stunning. Obviously, this is set at a wintry time of the year. Everything is covered in snow. The characters are wearing their little scarves and they just look absolutely adorable. Visually, it is such a joy. And it's not the first time, I think it's not the first time we've seen snow in My Friends Tigger and Pooh. And I can't remember the other episode, but certainly whenever it does feature, I rather enjoy it, and this is no exception. As the title suggests, this one is actually all about Roo, because Roo is discovering that his snowman, beautifully built snowman, appears to be getting shorter. And part of the episode is initially about trying to work out why it's getting shorter. And then, of course, once they establish that snow is melting, they try and find a way to keep the snow from melting so that Roo can continue to have his snowman. And I imagine this is something that a lot of children will actually experience. I can imagine that if they build a snowman and develop an attachment to it, then seeing it melt might be kind of disheartening, maybe even scary. So I think that it's a really great message about how snow works. It doesn't go into a tremendous amount of detail about how snow is created and how it melts, but there's enough information there for the very basics. And as I said, I think it did a good job of explaining things, and they also have a great, not really solution, but a great approach to helping Roo. So this is a spoiler for what happens at the very end, and I thought this was very sweet, because obviously you can't stop a snowman from melting unless you put it in your freezer or something, which would be ridiculous for most people. Most families can't fit a snowman in their freezer. But instead of allowing Roo to be too disheartened by this, they actually come up with a plan to make him feel better. And it involves maybe a bit of a distraction, but also making the best of the situation and finding alternative games to play with the snow. So instead of building a snowman, if it's now at a weather where it's going to be melting, they start to throw snowballs instead. And I thought that was a nice way to continue to have fun while still changing the situation so that Roo wasn't focused on the melting snowman, and everything worked out really well. So it's a nice story, definitely great for young children who are starting to learn about snow and the fact that it does melt, but also beautifully animated. As I said, visually it is really gorgeous to look at, and because of that, I think it's safe to say that I quite enjoyed this one.